a lost city under the ocean, a civilization richer than any kingdom of its time, a capital built in perfect rings of land and water. Then, in one day and one night, it vanished. For more than 2,000 years, Atlantis has survived as the ultimate historical mystery. But here is the real question. Are we looking for a real place, or are we chasing the greatest warning story ever written? The Atlantis file begins with one source, Plato. Around 360 years before the Common Era, the Greek philosopher wrote about Atlantis in two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato's story, the account came from Egyptian priests, passed to the Athenian statesman Solon, and then moved through generations before reaching Plato's family. That chain of transmission is important. It makes the story feel ancient, official, and almost documentary. But it also means every detail comes to us through Plato's writing. There is no surviving Atlantean inscription, no confirmed Atlantean coin, no ancient map labeled Atlantis. The entire mystery starts with a philosopher telling a story. And what a story it was. Plato described Atlantis as a powerful island empire beyond the Pillars of Heracles, the ancient gateway near the Strait of Gibraltar. Its capital was built in circular rings with canals, harbors, temples, walls, and palaces. It was wealthy. It was organized. It had armies and fleets. In the legend, Atlantis was not just a city, it was a superpower. Then its greatness became its weakness. Plato says the Atlanteans grew corrupt. Their power turned into arrogance. Their ambition threatened other lands. Finally, earthquakes and floods struck, and Atlantis sank beneath the sea in a single catastrophic day and night. That detail is why the legend refuses to die. A sudden disaster. A vanished empire. A location somewhere beyond the known world. It sounds less like a myth and more like a case file with the final page missing. But historians are cautious for a reason. Plato was not writing a travel guide. He often used stories to explore politics, morality, and the rise and fall of societies. In that reading, Atlantis is a warning. A perfect civilization becomes powerful, loses its virtue, and collapses. The message is not hidden under the ocean. It is written into the structure of the story. Still, some real events may have inspired it. The strongest real-world candidate is Santorini, known in antiquity as Thera. This island in the Aegean Sea was connected to the wealthy Bronze Age world of the Minoans. Around the second millennium before the Common Era, a massive volcanic eruption tore the island apart. Ash and pumice spread across the eastern Mediterranean. Settlements were buried, seas were disturbed. A brilliant island culture was scarred by catastrophe. The similarities are hard to ignore. An advanced island society, a violent natural disaster, a landscape reshaped by water, fire, and ash. If any real event helped inspire Atlantis, Santorini is one of the most compelling clues. But the match is not perfect. Santorini is in the Aegean Sea, not beyond Gibraltar. The eruption happened far later than Plato's timeline of 9,000 years before Solon. And Santorini was not a vast empire larger than regions of North Africa and Asia Minor. It explains the mood of Atlantis, but not every detail. That is the pattern with almost every Atlantis theory. Spain has marshlands and ancient ruins that some researchers connect to Plato's geography. The Azores sit in the Atlantic and have long attracted speculation about sunken land. North Africa offers ancient coastal cultures. Some theories even move Atlantis to the Caribbean or Antarctica. Each location solves one part of the puzzle while creating another problem. A circular formation does not prove a lost empire. A sunken coastline does not prove Atlantis. A volcanic disaster does not automatically match Plato. For a claim this large, the evidence has to be direct. So far, no site has delivered that. Even serious ocean scientists once searched for answers. In the early 20th century, researchers explored parts of the North Atlantic, hoping the seafloor might reveal traces of a former landmass or lost civilization. They gathered useful ocean data. They did not find Atlantis. So where does that leave the file? The most likely answer is that Atlantis was not a single, lost super-civilization waiting intact beneath the waves. It was probably a philosophical story shaped by real ancient fears: earthquakes, floods, volcanic eruptions, naval power, political corruption, and the terrifying speed with which civilizations can collapse. But that does not make Atlantis less powerful. It may make it more powerful, because every generation has its own Atlantis, a place we imagine was greater than us, a warning that wealth cannot save a society from arrogance, a mystery that asks whether history still has missing chapters buried under water, ash, and time. Maybe Atlantis was a memory, maybe it was a metaphor, maybe it was both. The only thing we know for certain is this: the city has never been found, but the question has never disappeared. And until someone discovers direct evidence, the Atlantis file remains open.